And that's live. And we're live.
Welcome. Thanks for hanging out with us. This is episode 366. I'm going to do the math before you, or Bob was wrong, plus 350.
Oh, yeah. So you do the easy one. You take the easy one to do the math on.
Yeah, I know. Those are the hard ones. If you're new to the show or you haven't heard, like around episode 5, I said there's no way this show makes it past 16 episodes. So we're going to run out of shit to talk about. And go figure.
If you only knew.
366 is here. We are hanging out in our quarantined houses. This is Bob the Sales Guy. That is Dave the Geek. Randy, I do the Twitters is. Doing the Twitters. Find us online. IT in the D.com. Do us a favor. Give us a like on the socials and subscribe to us everywhere. Fine podcasts are sold.
Yeah.
Sold anywhere yet?
No.
Well, I mean, Spotify's buying them, but they're not selling them. So, I mean, I guess it's...
You get the super secret rooms, I think, in some of them. And
you could get a Luminary subscription and pay when you don't have to.
Super premium content.
Yeah, we don't have any of that.
Never understood that. Like why would I not? What would I consider the good stuff, and why would I save that for someone to pay and then have the bad stuff to listen to for free and sell them
as the teaser trying to get people to buy stuff? You put out the crappy stuff.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No. But the good stuff.
Who knows?
So I don't think we're gonna have events this year, dude. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, I was actually talking with Fred earlier today. The illustrious Fred Brown that loves to scare the shit out of us. And he basically said, "Hey, if you have any intention of doing anything outside of your home before like late spring next year, yeah, you should probably do that before Halloween."
So I got a new Fred is Bodie in Point Break. Like his whole entire life, he's been waiting for the 50-foot wave, the 50-year storm. And he's been doing the little shit. He's been playing around with the little shit for a while. I was explaining to somebody at a business lunch, and then I go, he's kind of like Bodie from Point Break. And I go, why? I go, he's been surfing his whole life, just kind of having fun. He's getting paid, he's doing his thing. But that 50-year storm, and he's in the middle of it right now. He's like, this is his glory. The ghosts are in downtown Manhattan. I finally get to use my laser beams that I've been working on my whole life. So,
I mean, not entirely inaccurate. I'm sure he's definitely. No. But I mean, hey,
I just appreciate him not using politics during all this bullshit, because I am tired of. When I say you, it's not you, but like you.
Sure, it isn't.
I'm
Bob.
So tired. There's so many people that I used to really like a lot. Like when cordially, they weren't like good friends, but I would see them cordially. I go, oh hey. Now it's like, where's the unfollow button,
dude? So I got unfriended. I got unfriended by somebody that we helped find not one, not two, but 3 different jobs for over the years. Because she shared a post from a QAnon group, and it was all like Clinton with Jeffrey Epstein, and it was all the hashtag Save the Children thing and all that kind of stuff. So I replied, and then I nested replies with, there's something missing from this post. And every post I put a picture of Trump with Epstein, or, Melania with Epstein, or, Trump with, whatever. And she like got all snarky with me about it. She's like, I don't know why you're trolling on this. Like that's, this isn't a political thing. I'm like, well, but it is. Cause like,
did you do an All Lives Matter? Is that what you just did on that?
All pedophiles matter. They should all be identified and crucified. Yeah. And so it's like, no, I'm like, you're sharing something from a QAnon group. And she's like, I don't even know what QAnon is. I'm like, all right, well, here's what QAnon is. And then she unfriended me. I'm like, all right, bye.
I still don't know what it is. I love conspiracy theories and all that shit. I don't even know what that shit is. As far as I'm concerned, what is it? Born out of 4chan? Is it one of those toilet groups?
Yes, it absolutely is. Yeah.
So all they're basically doing is trying to get the news to talk about it, and then they sit at home and smile.
Well, I mean, it's actually much deeper than that. They are pretty much dedicated to Trump, and they are dedicated to distracting.
Or against.
No, for. And so hence the sharing of
for
pictures.
as a troll or for legitimately?
No,
Sorry.
for legitimately. Like they believe Trump is working to bring down the government from the inside, and that he is sharing.
Okay.
Like it's this weird like Messiah complex thing they have going on with him, and so that hence the that one group that she shared from, it only had pictures of like the Clintons or Obama or Democrats with.
That's selective outrage. It's what everybody's doing now.
But it's not selective outrage. It's because they're trying, and because part of their stated goals is deflecting any and all criticisms about whatever Trump has to be doing by trying to pile on the pedophile stuff to the Democrats.
Yeah, it's my team did the good stuff. Your team did the bad stuff. Weather at 11. Everyone's doing it. Oh, my team did the good stuff. It's it drives me nuts. I wish I can't wait till it goes away. Then
Bob, it's not.
Politics talk is gonna.
It's never going to go away. I truly believe we have hit the tipping point with all of this nonsense, that this is going to be an immensely divisive issue for years to come. Like this is not going to be a flash in the pan with this election. I mean, if Trump wins, God help society. If Trump loses, God help society. I mean, he's all but effectively said he'll refuse to accept the results and will refuse to leave the White House. He will, block and filibuster any way he can to stay in there. And that's entirely feasible. Like he could conceivably do that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I believe the latest was he would issue an executive order saying that Joe Biden couldn't be president.
Oh, that's yeah.
The same crap that was going on 8 years ago is going on now. It's just a different cycle and it's different people in there. Like Obama's going for a third term, dude. That was like a big scare thing going.
Okay, but that's nothing he actually said. That was people making shit up. That's nothing he himself actually said. This is stuff Trump himself has actually said. Let's be absolutely clear about that.
My favorite was the latest. Trump did a part of a campaign speech, said something like, "If Biden wins, you'll never see me again." Joe Biden tweeted that and posted it on Instagram and said, "I'm Joe Biden and I endorse this message."
And I'm like, promise?
All right, can we talk about the Mandalorian now? Why did I bring this shit up?
Yes, absolutely. Let's dive into the lighter shit now that we've lost everybody who was already watching.
Crying out loud. Delete this off the podcast, by the way.
Well, no, and hey, but for what it's worth, one last thing on that note, just because not even to get political with the bullshit that's going on with it. But hey, rest in peace, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She did a hell of a lot for particularly women in this country. The memes and the facts and the figures are out there. If you are a woman who is able to own a house on your own, apply for a job, keep your job during a pregnancy, apply for a credit card on your own, that kind of stuff, you basically owe that to her. And the fights that she fought, and she fought the good fight, and unfortunately has left us. So yeah.
All the best to her and her family. And yeah, she did. Her resume, man, that you can't argue with that at all.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, just the equal pay stuff she did, making sure that people can get paycheck protections and getting equal pay for the same work and all that kind of. I mean, we Shot a History Crew did an episode on her yesterday, and it's just stunning to her list of accomplishments and what she did, and not only and the funny thing is, and not even necessarily funny, but you could almost see that she took on a lot of those initiatives and a lot of those causes because of what she faced herself. She was denied a clerkship at a federal court level strictly because she was a woman, until her professor basically threatened the federal court judge and said, "I will never send you another law clerk again as long as I live and hold this position unless you accept her. And hey, if she doesn't work out, I'll give you somebody else." And it could even be a guy. But of course, she worked out and went on to climb the whole chain, and yeah, good for her. But yes, so hey, Mandalorian season 2.
Thank you.
Coming out October 30th. I'm still, the trailer visually stunning, absolutely beautiful. No Ahsoka Tano, screw them.
Well, who is Sasha Banks? That's the big question. Did you see her?
Yeah.
with the robe on. So some people are saying it's oh my god, now I can't think of her damn name. That was with the Ahsoka Tano's crew in Rebels. So she was kind of
the Mandalorian, yeah. Vizsla.
Yeah, and then there's definite sign of Boba Fett. There's a whole bunch of, and then the one thing I was taught was that they're worried about dumping too much stuff out like too soon. But they could probably run Mandalorian for 10 seasons.
For sure.
For it.
Oh yeah, and would have all of us, fanboys eating it up with a spoon for as long as they gave it to us. But yeah, no, so I mean that's the thing. Like they'd always said that this season was going to dive more into why Gideon has the Darksaber, which means you're getting into the fall of Mandalore, which means you're getting back into the Vizsla storyline from Rebels. So I would expect to see some crossover there and see how that goes.
Well, that was what Mandalore. That was the only Jedi, the Mandalorian Jedi, that was his lightsaber.
Yes,
is her lightsaber. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's going to be. It's funny. I keep showing people from Do the Right Thing that's the guy with the brand new Air Jordans guy. Nobody believes me. I just showed people more people.
My shoes.
Yeah, my brand new Air Jordans. I paid good money for.
Yep. So that's Grand Moff Gideon.
He's on The Boys now. He's on The Boys now, and he's awesome in that.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, he's a hell of an actor.
Blowing up now.
What was that ABC show with the world lost power? He was
Revolution.
Revolution, yeah, he was good on that. I like that too.
That was another series that they got killed off too soon.
Yeah.
Hey, actually, so speaking of series, it was Revolution. It was so good. It was basically there was an EMP that wiped out power all across the planet. And basically pockets of society trying to keep their shit together and not kill each other and all that kind of stuff. The one thing that always made me laugh about that show is okay, so we're supposed to believe that we're 3 years past an EMP destroying all power anywhere, and yet the female leads always had perfectly done hair. Like they were like obviously blown out. They were obviously
it's like cut grass in Walking Dead.
Right. Yeah. Who's cutting all the grass in The Walking Dead? Yeah. But so speaking of shows that were canceled before their time, so obviously everybody knows, at least if you listen to this, you do, because I won't shut up about it. Lucifer, got picked up by Netflix after being canceled by Fox after 3 seasons, and has gone through the roof. Dude, this statistic blew my mind that came out today. And I want to make sure I get this right. In the first week of the new season's release, people spent 1.6 billion minutes, which translates to 3,044 years collectively of time watching those 8 episodes as they dropped in that first week.
Jeez.
I guess that means it's a popular show.
It's a hell of a show. My daughter is obsessed with it now. In fact, she just burned through the last 2 seasons after hearing me talk about it, and she was like, "Oh my god!" She's like, "Dad, I have so many questions I want to talk about." Da-da-da-da. So we can talk about because and that's one of the things. Like it's actually, I talked to a friend who I don't know if I would call him religious or just spiritual, one of the two. But like he had asked me about the show, and I said, "Look, it's actually very good foundationally. Like it does stick to the basics of the story. Like if you are a Bible person, you will recognize characters and they are true to form in this story." And even he came back and he was like, "You know what? You're absolutely right. They do a good job. Granted it's, a TV show, but they still stick to the characters and their personalities and all that kind of stuff." So yeah. That just blew my mind.
Speaking of trailers, did you watch a WandaVision trailer?
I did.
That looks pretty good. I like the.
So can you explain it to me, because I didn't read Vision comics. Obviously, I know him from the Avengers, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And it starts off like Fallout, like it almost looks like a Fallout commercial. You don't know anything? Okay.
Probably. Well, based on what I know, this is probably a Vision or something. Vision, an alternate reality created by Wanda, because she has those great magical powers, but we don't really know for sure.
Yeah, we won't know until it drops. They're basically just, for all we know, that was a holodeck simulation.
Like in the 23 movies they've had so far, they've taken a lot of comic stories, but like kind of twisted them to match the MCU. So we can speculate, but we don't know for sure what they're doing. But my favorite part was
that's pretty awesome.
The classic costumes that looks like they dressed up as themselves for like Halloween or something.
Yep.
Wanda with her red cowl and Vision in the green and yellow suit.
Well, and it's got that very like 1940s, 1950s kind of vibe to it, like very I Love Lucy-ish, which obviously they were going for. But yeah, it definitely looks good. I'm intrigued, and yay again for having Disney Plus. Though I will probably not be picking up Paramount Plus. I don't get it.
I have CBS All Access.
Paramount?
So CBS All Access is becoming Paramount Plus. But it's going to be more than CBS Access, but it's not going to be all of what it could be because it's not going to have the Showtime stuff. It's not going to have everything that Paramount owns. It's just going to have, like bits and pieces. And here's the thing, like, this is what I don't understand. Like, they also, like, towards the end of that story, they reference, they've been bulking up their catalog with, shows from, Comedy Central and Nickelodeon and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, aren't those all already on, like, Hulu and HBO Max and everywhere else? Like, are there just like multiple deals going on for the same content? And fine, it's going to be everywhere, or it'll be everywhere for a year and then it'll only be there. That's the part that
you'll get Battlestar Galactica with Edward James Olmos for the 3rd season.
I already have the DVDs. I'm good, thanks.
Avatar: The Last Airbender is on Netflix again, but that's a Nickelodeon property, so I think it's also on CBS right now, but who knows if it's going to be on Paramount Plus.
Like, and it just gets back to that, are the networks cutting off their own nose to spite their face at this point? Are you truly like I am. I just out of spite, I'm not going to be getting Paramount Plus because I don't care.
It seems like they're just like, ooh, how do we get money right now instead of waiting 6 months and doing way more money on their own.
Right, and without worrying about what you're actually putting out. Like, is this the networks essentially admitting that nobody watches network television anymore? Like, is that what this is? Because I mean,
there's not a whole lot of network television right now
true
because of the pandemic. So
true.
What are you what's to watch? And here's my thing. Here's the scale, or here's how, like, we have a thing in this house when we cook dinner, and it's like, would I pay money for that, right? And like, all I got to do is take 20 college kids, put them in a room. Here's a lineup of shows. Would you pay money for this? And if you get, half of them, okay, maybe we got something, and then you keep running. But like this crap, who the hell's going to watch this stuff? It makes no sense to me.
I don't think you need 20-year-olds. I think you need 30 and 40-year-olds.
Yeah, I'm definitely got CBS All Access for the Star Trek shows. They've got the new Lower Decks airing right now, the cartoon. They've got this 3rd season of Discovery coming up next month. There's the new Star Trek Strange New Worlds with Captain Pike before the Enterprise, all sorts of Star Trek stuff. So it's worth it just for that for me. But would you pay money, Bob? Oh, sorry.
Speaking of Star Trek, I just had to go look. Why is the Orville not out with a new season yet? What the hell?
Probably pandemic. It's Hulu exclusive too, so it's not going to be on Fox anymore. Speaking of paying money for that, would you pay money for a margarita made with Mountain Dew?
No, that looks disgusting.
Especially when you don't know what the hell the ingredients are other than Mountain Dew. Like, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm sitting here drinking the doogie, and hats off to Randy for coming up with this little concoction that's become my friggin' addiction. That's why it made me like, it's the first ever cocktail with Mountain Dew. I'm like, dude, Randy came up with this crap like a year ago in the summer, and I've been drinking like 8, 9, 10 of them a week. Kiss my ass. Like that.
The difference is I hate Mountain Dew. It's got there's just something that I want nothing to do with. If you want to make a margarita at Red Lobster and see, here's the thing. What's wrong with a classic margarita with the mini Corona bottle in it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry.
Classic margarita.
Like, what about
tequila, Cointreau,
Red Lobster
lime,
anyway?
kosher salt, and
ice. Thank you, Archer. Yeah.
Who drinks at Red Lobster anyway? I'm full on biscuits.
I've never once in my life even ordered a Mountain Dew at Red Lobster, let alone wanting a Mountain Dew cocktail at Red Lobster. Just not a thing.
I haven't been there in years.
I go once every 2 or 3 years for like the endless shrimp promo. I don't go regularly.
Oh, but actually, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you can get the biscuits on DoorDash now. I think I'm just gonna order like 4 dozen one night. Well, that's gonna be my dinner.
You can get them in the frozen food aisle at grocery stores now.
No, we make them. We make
the mix too.
The mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy enough.
That's what we. Yeah. So talking about bad.
Yeah, so talking about shows, Archer is back.
Oh yeah,
that came back last Wednesday, and I was actually kind of surprised. I didn't know they were dropping 2 episodes.
Yeah, I thought it was just one. Yeah.
And so they're back. They're finally done with all of the last 3 seasons of the Dreamland episodes. Archer is out of the coma, and I got to tell you, they did a hilarious job. And I went and did a little digging, because we were like, in fact, you and I were talking about this, where like their voices sounded a little bit off. Yeah. And I guess they came up with a really creative way to do all the voiceover work, since they couldn't get people in studios to get the post-production done. They basically sent a team in a van to sit outside the voice actor's house.
Down by the river?
Yeah, to sit outside the voice actor's house. Gave them left a microphone and an iPad on their front porch that would, and like a recorder, and then so the person would get that and then basically like go into like their bathroom closet, their like whatever, to build themselves a blanket for it, whatever. They would use the iPad to communicate with the sound technicians in the van, because they didn't want to like have people being near each other, so they kept the sound techs out in the van broadcasting to there, and did all the voiceover work that way, which I thought was kind of an interesting way to get, as I've become kind of a sound guy. But it sounded noticeably different from the previous episodes, where like you could just tell that everybody's voices were a little bit off. In fact, I think, Randy, you're the one that said that Aisha Tyler's voice sounded like she was just coming off a really hard cold.
Yeah.
But like, Mallory's voice was a little off. Archer's. So I mean, it was interesting to me that's how they wound up getting that done during the pandemic, that they went through this entire process to make that work.
Yeah, like, here, sit in your closet or whatever and record this, and everybody's closet's a little different. So.
Right. And by the way, I know that I knew that they were going to listen when I pleaded to Trey Parker and Matt Stone to do a pandemic South Park. They were listening, and they decided to get back to work because they heard me pleading with them.
It's all about this show. Everyone listens. It's ever since we talked about them. Yeah. Ever since we talked about them being in Detroit for the entire Whole Foods season.
Yep.
But no, so yeah, that comes out September 30th, and it is
September 30th.
2 interesting things about this. One, it is going to be the only hour-long episode they have ever done. They've done multi-part episodes that have all been 30 minutes in length. They've never done a whole 1 hour episode before. And the other thing is, this is the one of the very few times they've ever gone back and touched on the same topic twice. Like they were when Pokemon Go became all the rage. I think it was Trey that I saw the interview with, where everybody was like, "Oh yeah, why aren't you guys doing a Pokemon episode?" And he was like, "We did it 7 years ago with the whole Chin Pokemon thing. We're not doing it again."
Yeah, what was the one with the toilet paper? That was the pandemic, but it was for, what was it, for swine flu?
No. The pandemic episode was with the guinea pigs. When that was the global pandemic, was the guinea pigs episode. That was another 2-parter.
Yeah, because I just see the toilet paper running. Oh my God! Then Randy's got the mask on. Oh my God! It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Dude, it's South Park. It's going to be amazing.
One thing I wasn't clear on, is this just standalone, or is this like the kickoff of a new season?
It is standalone. They are not back in full production for a season yet. They haven't even announced when they're coming back yet. This is totally a one-off that they did just to get something out there and capitalize on it, because why not? I'm sure Comedy Central threw a
show the kids in school. Oh God,
big bag of money at them.
Oh yeah. Well, nothing. What's must-see TV anymore? There's nothing except for shows they're dropping on Hulu, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's nothing that's must-see TV anymore.
Oh, speaking of,
people aren't watching.
Go ahead.
Is what?
I was just going to say, speaking of shows that are dropping on streaming, I finally caught up with The Boys on Amazon Prime. I watched Carnival Row, finished that on Amazon Prime. I have started Raised by Wolves on HBO Max. So there's a lot of.
What do you think of Raised by Wolves?
It's interesting. I'm not super familiar with Ridley Scott's work. Like I've never seen Alien or anything like that. So
what?
How do we even know you?
I knew that would get a reaction, but
watch no, like I just watched Prometheus again this weekend, and like wow, that's from 10 years ago, and wow, is that really good?
Hey,
did you get all the way to...
Chad's watching. He says hi, Santa.
Yeah. You're all gonna be jealous when I'm making fat cash this Christmas.
Yeah, because that's what you want is strange kids sitting on your lap. That's exactly what you want.
Smelling like tapioca with piss pants, asking for footballs. Only if I get to kick them down a slide, then I'll totally do it.
That would be the only reason to do it. Absolutely. So
why can't they recreate that? Has no one done that yet?
No.
Like recreated that to perfectly, like the Christmas Story?
No,
like
I don't believe that.
Why don't they?
I don't know, dude. I mean, I'm sure malls are begging for anything at this point. We'd probably talk one of them into it.
Sign a release form, like Santa's going to kick your child in the head. Under no circumstances are they under any. They can just land in cotton balls. There's not even padding.
Just put, get some of the wrestling mats or something and throw those down on the floor. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
So hey, are you?
Beats the shit out of them doing the stupid train crap they've been doing at Auburn Hills for 20 years.
You gonna run out and buy the jalapeno noir from Taco Bell, Randy?
I thought it was a Canada exclusive thing.
It is. It's
so yeah, none of us are running out to get it then.
But yeah, I no. I no. Like I can't.
It pairs with their new. It pairs with their toasty cheesy chalupa.
Yeah, I can't envision wine at Taco Bell. Like that just seems.
No, spicy alcohol in general sucks. I remember when they came out with spicy beer when I was like 18 or 19, and it sucked ass.
I liked some of those.
Bad.
I liked some of those.
Oh, there's nothing you could mix it with. There's nothing you could chase it with. Just garbage. That's why. And then the mint one that came out, which was Colt 45 Mint, a cool Colt, was like, oh, Randy, imagine. So this is how stupid I am as a human being. We go to spring break. I'm working at the.
I'm sorry, you're going to limit this to one story?
Yeah. I know the list is long. Instead of just buying like different kinds of beers for spring break, I buy 2 cases of Colt 45, cool Colt 45 40s. And we took 1 sip. This tastes like shit. Try it, and pass it around the circle. And we freaking dumped it all in the toilet and had to go to the store and buy freaking Schlitz or whatever we bought. The worst tasting beverage I've ever had in my life.
Sounds like the liquid equivalent of the Camel Crush cigarette.
Just brush your teeth for 3 days, like a good brush, and then start drinking Bud Light, and that's cool Colt. The worst.
Hey, before I forget, I want to hit this quick, just because they are going to be on the show next week, and to give you guys a little talk about why they're going to be on the show next week. We got Bedrock coming in. They've got this whole thing with so much to do in downtown Detroit. The D is the place to be. Basically, in case you don't know, there's a lot of places that are open and running for business, and I actually want to talk about a couple of them in a sec. So you can find great deals on unique merchandise at your favorite retailers and savor the flavor of dining outside on patios and rooftops at some of the city's best restaurants. If you're looking for a place to hang out between shopping and eating, meet up with friends for a socially distant get-together at a downtown park. Bring your family to come shop, eat, and be in the D. For details on open businesses and free parking, visit bedrockdetroit.com and click on the open business directory. There's quite a few out there. And so I actually popped into Temple Bar for the first time in, I guess, about 3 or 4 months now. And wow, was I amazed. So like, I think the last time I had mentioned them when I went there, right before they shut all the bars back down, you couldn't do indoor service. They had installed all of the plexiglass from the bar top all the way up to the ceiling, all the way around, trying to make it safe that way. And Bob, I mean, like Temple Bar has never had a back patio or anything like that. It's, always been that little gravel area that people walked outside to smoke on.
They do.
Right. Well, I mean, for what it's worth, they have now poured. In fact, I wound up sitting there and talking to George and Larry for quite a while on Friday night. They poured a gorgeous cement patio with a they've got about like 6 tables out there for people that are pretty good sized. They built a roof over it. It's wow. Like I was literally stunned when I walked outside and saw what they had done and finally did. And they just had it done about 2 weeks ago. And I think that's going to be the struggle, especially, and that's what that Bedrock was talking about, is you've got all these places that have now converted to, okay, outdoor seating, outdoor this, outdoor that. And guess what, kids? It's September 21st, and it's getting a little cold in the D. Yeah.
So I don't know if did I talk about this last week, that I've been watching videos on how restaurants are changing how they're doing what they're doing. There's a place in New York that's up 300%. Well, what they did was so they were breaking down. So instead of breaking down like the pigs and the cows and everything, they're selling chops. And then they started a YouTube channel on how to prepare this stuff at home. And then they're putting together to-go boxes. So they're basically tripled down. So they're selling you like a 4-pack of chops.
Right.
And then here's the instructional video on how to cook it. Or they're going to make it for you and put it in a shoebox to go. Or they're going to vacuum seal it. So they basically took everything, they marinated this. They're selling it that way.
So fancy HelloFresh
content online. What's that?
Fancy HelloFresh.
No, it was just basically just a steak place.
No, that's what I mean. But they're because, like I said, I mean, that's the the HelloFresh, the whatever the other ones are.
Oh, yeah.
That whole meal in a box delivery service kind of thing. So okay, great, you get all the ingredients and go. And dude, I'm all for it. Like if there are places, I mean, yeah, especially if you're giving me your recipe that I love when I go there and I can go home and learn how to make it myself. Yep, I'm in.
Yeah, and then they're showing that I don't believe Yelp data, but this is according to them. 60% of all the business closures due to COVID are permanent.
That's actually been. So that stat's been floating around for a couple months now, and it's been like checked and double checked, and I mean, that's the best number they have.
But see, like I see some places are killing it. That's what I'm like. We talked about the ghost restaurants. We've been talking about that since this whole thing started.
Well, that's the thing, dude. Places with no overhead, yeah, they're doing great. I mean, but places that have huge buildings that they owe like ginormous rent payments on or lease payments on, and they can't get their staff back, and they can't, I mean, a lot of those places, I mean, the margins on restaurant and bar are not that high. Like people think for whatever reason you open a restaurant and you become a millionaire. No, dude, like those margins are pretty damn thin.
That in liquor stores, I'll never forget when the guy told me exactly what he makes working, and he 16-hour days.
Yep.
And he's not even pulling $100,000, but he goes, I own the building, and when I sell the building, I'll be able to, provide for my family. So
exactly, and that's the hope, and the sad thing is a lot of these restaurants don't have that because they're leasing or renting space. And you look at I mean, just look at how many places opened up downtown in the past year, and they say what is it, something like 80% of all businesses tend to fail in the first 2 years. So
90% of all stats are made up on the spot. Yeah.
I mean, I know it's something crazy high like that, but still, but so you've got a brand new business that's struggling to find a foothold, that's just opened up, and yada yada yada, and then to get hit by this and then basically shut you down. Then when you start to be able to reopen again, you can't open at full capacity, so you can't get back to normal. You got supply chain disruptions, so your costs have gone up, which means you got to change your menu prices. People are pissed about that. They don't want to, everybody's bitching about wearing masks and that kind of crap when they walk in somewhere and being jerks about it. Yeah.
I mean, everyone, you literally had to retool on the fly or you're dead. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And like, again, you're forcing yourself to go down that DoorDash path, giving up 30 points of your margin that
you already didn't have. Yeah.
Right. So like I know like the one pizzeria by us, they're not doing DoorDash, but they do their own delivery through Slice, I think. They take like a quarter of the margin from DoorDash. So he promotes the shit out of using his, go to my URL, go to my home. Don't go to, like it's kind of like how we always talk. Don't find us on Google, go to IT and the D and get us there.
Anything you need is right there. We're good. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, hey, go to, Larco Bros Pizza, and then, you can delivery from there, and, my guys will do it. So, they're killing it. Yeah.
Well, I got to ask, am I the only one not hearing Randy?
I can't hear Randy either, dude.
Okay, phew.
You're silent, Randy. Yeah,
nope.
Nothing.
Thank God. I was like, is it just me? Can I not like? I was trying to read the visual cues off your face.
You know why I don't feel so bad on technical difficulties? Listen to this. Dane Cook put together an Oscar award-winning group of people, from Morgan Freeman to Julia Roberts to Brad Pitt. I mean, I'm talking the who's who of Hollywood, right?
Right.
To do a cast reading of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and actually got Sean Penn to do Spicoli, and they had technical difficulties coming out of the ass. So all you could see was like the bits and pieces that were funny or good. But like, here's Morgan Freeman going, here's Jenny and Stacy. I can't do a Morgan Freeman impersonation, but at the mall where they see a nice looking man in his 20s ordering pizza. Then like Jennifer Aniston's doing the one girl, and like then everybody craps the bed with their technical stuff. So yeah, I don't feel so bad now. Can we hear you, Randy? Yeah,
nope.
Nothing.
You want to
plugged in?
Is it plugged in? Is it turned on?
Reboot it.
Yeah, you want to try dropping out and dropping back in?
So can I talk about the dumbest article of the week? Actually, the dumbest article of the year. Actually, the dumbest article of all time.
That's a huge claim to make, that it's the dumbest article of the year, because goddamn.
I gotta say that this is the dumbest article of all time, and there's a lot of dumb shit. Apparently, and this is written in Forbes, which is something that someone is supposed to
be able to rely upon and trust. Yeah,
like, okay, Forbes, legit. Like, it's not one of the a leaning political. It's not a bad. This is Forbes, and here's I'm gonna go off the. Hi, Randy.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
I had to switch microphones. I didn't know what's going on.
You're sounding a lot more hollow now, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure what happened.
You're broadcasting live from your toilet. You sound like you're pooping. So this I'm going to read this verbatim. I can't explain this. I don't know. We got to have Fred on just to talk about this for 2 hours. Why speaking English may spread more coronavirus than other languages.
Dude, and as soon as I read the headline, I was like it just immediately doesn't make sense to me, because I think of the super guttural languages like German or Arabic or Russian and like you would think that those
Krankenwagen.
Exactly. Well, but so I guess here's the difference, and I think they get into this a little bit in the article. I think it's because of all of the plosives that are in the English language. Like, we're very pop heavy, which is where aerosols spread and all that kind of stuff. In fact, they even mentioned the
loud as shit too.
Well, the one everybody knew that which professor like spit when he talked, and so you didn't sit in the front row ever, that kind of stuff. So I mean, I get it. I loved your little, because you posted that in one of the chat groups, and I was like, wait, where the hell's that from? Who sponsored that study? And you're like, I don't know, Rosetta Stone.
Right.
Yeah, pay us to learn another language, so you're not spreading COVID. Yeah.
Well, the way things are going these days, there's going to be a commercial going, English spreads the Rona more. Learn German. RosettaStone.com. 50% off. Like, I'm helping.
Yeah.
Then it's Ralph Wiggum going, I'm helping. I'm sprechen Sie German all day. I helped. I saved lives.
But yeah,
it's true.
I guess on that front, I mean, so you've got Israel, there's a second wave that's basically burning through Europe right now. Israel just went down on full lockdown again. My nephew is one of the students that's at Grand Valley, and they just went to a quarantine in place. They had 600 cases pop in about a week. And in fact, they already had.
What's real again? Because I saw there's all these cases, but then there was 0 hospitalizations. Like, I always see conflicting stuff. That's why I like getting Fred.
Okay. Keep in mind, there's a difference between I've tested positive and my symptoms have gotten bad enough that I go to the hospital. Like those are two different things.
Yeah, we've talked about that. Like, they tell you to stay home until you're.
Yep. Yeah, because it's supposed to self-quarantine. So and it's and he said got some info from him, and basically like they had a whole they already had a protocol in place where like if you were looking to leave campus to go home, you had to get tested before you left. And I guess there were 5 like close friends that were getting ready to go to the same wedding, and all 5 of them popped positive and had to go into quarantine. Jeez. So yeah, I mean, but the downside of that is it is my understanding that nobody's taking it seriously. I mean, and granted, you're talking about like college kids. Like, would you really expect college kids to quarantine and not get together and not party and not hang out and not do? I mean, that's for a lot of them, this is their first time away from home and it's their first, experiences with all this kind of stuff. I can't say I don't understand it. I'm just like, and this, this feeds in the last time we had Fred on, that whole thing about, come Halloween into the, the fall and winter breaks and all that stuff. That's why we're going to see a lot of these cases go up again because, well, all those kids are going to be bringing stuff back home and off we go.
Well, what are we as a society? We, you can't see it, so it must not exist. Yeah,
self-indulgent,
right.
Instant gratification, demanding.
Everybody. But if it was like zombie apocalypse and all these people are running around with their head on fire, chewing, like that's real. But this is, this is, whatever crap on the news. Nobody, and there's a distrust of the media like we've never seen before in our lives. So,
well, and in a lot of cases, rightfully so.
Sure, they do their, they want the clicks and they want to prey upon emotion. Yeah. Right, you're going to get distrust.
If it bleeds, it leads. Yeah, absolutely. Well, there you go. And, just talking about hospitalizations and that kind of stuff, hell of a scary situation that I think we've all been kind of waiting for this shoe to drop just happened in Germany.
Dude, we've been talking about this for years being a thing. I mean, granted, it's only the first one, but I guess you could say that you have the first confirmed death from ransomware.
Yeah.
Hitting a hospital. So, I mean, it wasn't necessarily, we always talked about taking over the medical devices, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the things that were plugged in. But this was actually, the hospital couldn't accept emergency patients. So they were sent to a healthcare facility 20 miles away. And in that 20 miles, basically the patient passed away. So but it was directly, if it wasn't for the cyber attack, the person would have been being able to get handled at the hospital. Which I don't really get either.
The attack seems to be accidental too. It looks like they were targeting the university and not the hospital associated with the university that actually got hit.
Oops.
Yeah. Oh, in that case.
Well, no, it's just
we didn't mean it.
They weren't intentionally, violating a hacker's ethos by targeting a hospital.
I wasn't shooting at you. I was shooting at that guy. I just happened to hit you. Sorry. Yeah. So what's your take on Microsoft buying Bethesda?
That's a lot of money. That's 2 Star Warses they bought.
Yeah, $7.5 billion.
I tried to put that stuff in perspective. So $7.5 billion means nothing. 2 Star Warses, that means something to me. 2 Star Warses. Bethesda, what is what's their Fallout?
Yeah.
And their StarCraft?
They've got Elder Scrolls, and then they were most known for Doom and Quake.
Yeah, but who's played Doom and Quake in the last 20 years?
But dude,
that means it's time for a remake.
All the imagine all the retro game hype that's going on, and if they're going to bring that to Xbox and Xbox Live, that probably wouldn't be a bad thing.
Elder Scrolls hasn't put a game out in 7 years?
They have the MMO that they keep expanding.
Oh, yeah. That's a lot of money, though. My God. Yeah. Oh, then they're trying to push Game Pass for Xbox, the all-you-can-eat shit.
Yeah. Well, we talked about that last week with the new Xboxes, and it's not a bad deal.
Stop trying to make Game Pass happen. It's never going to happen.
Did you hear like everybody's pissy about the new Xboxes coming out don't have loadable media?
The cheaper one doesn't. The more expensive one does. Yeah.
Does okay.
Yeah.
Well, regardless,
Series, what is this? Series S is digital only. The Series X has an optical drive.
I can't be the only one that it takes 3 days to download an effing game.
I was actually talking to somebody over the weekend who said that basically when there's a game update, he packs up his PlayStation and goes over to his brother's house to do it there because it like his own connectivity is just like he said it would take me like 30 hours at home as opposed to like 30 minutes there.
Well, then I got to set my clock timer for 30 minutes.
Greg Walters just chimed in and said it's not just 2 Star Wars, it's 3 Marvels.
Good point. But like I got to set my timer so that my Xbox doesn't shut down because I'm like, then I wake up in the morning, I boot up my Xbox, I'm like, it's only 23%. Then I got to then I got to get it going again, but it goes for a half an hour, then it shuts down or it goes to sleep. I don't want to deal with that shit.
You can turn that setting off, Bob.
Stop talking. I don't care. I don't want to go through the settings.
Default all the
settings
things.
Should be good. The settings should be what I want them to be immediately.
Well, they're also working on improving that. I believe they had like some sort of like compression optimization for downloads and storage. So I don't believe it'll take as much to download a game for the new series of Xbox as the current gen.
When are they going to start just torrenting all the stuff we need?
I mean, that's essentially what they do. I mean, if you look at the technology and all how it's all peer to peer, I mean, it essentially is just a dedicated torrent between you and their servers.
Right. Yeah, but it's not there. What I'm thinking like millions of, it's their servers, and that's cloud.
Well,
I'm talking about grabbing CPU from all of us.
Yeah. Well, but then I mean, I guess that changes that entire. I mean, that changes the paradigm, where now you've got to get people to agree to like remember the old bear share and LimeWire days, where hey, I'll download stuff, but I'm not going to share anything out. So then you've got to get all the.
I never shared a damn thing.
Because that's how you got busted was when you shared shit out.
Yeah.
But no, so then you've got to get all the console owners to okay, are you willing to be a node for this? And oh, by the way, are your providers going to be okay with you suddenly soaking up all that additional bandwidth, not just on the download, but on the uploads and sharing?
Wasn't that a dumb Jason Bateman Christmas Office movie where like they were building like the cell phones that torrented CPU from?
Oh God, yes.
It was like the next gen internet. I'm trying to think I'm mapping out how this would possibly work, and I'm like. I don't, it's the 5G conspiracy theorists, they're coming to get us. Answer me this. They're touting 5G. There's cities that we don't need the Comcasts when that shit drops. And it looks like we're going to all get it in the next year. Are we just going to put a 5G node in our house and then
Bob, how many technology swap outs have you dealt with in a corporate perspective over the course of your life?
Yes.
And how rapidly do those happen, and how according to plan do those go?
I guess it depends on who, and they never go to plan.
Okay.
Well,
so now you're talking about people in their homes without an IT department to help them.
No, I can safely say that the one deployment, the Citrix deployment that shorted over COVID. In 4 days was like pretty much that would go in a record book if they write about it. That was some of the but not everything goes to plan. That was one thing that did. But yeah, I'm the guy right now that's doing tech support for my 6-year-old because she doesn't click the green arrow for her state standardized test this morning.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, you logged into Zoom? Cool, I'm done. They're like, I hear, can you get a parent, please? I'm like, God bless it. And then she's got like 40 tabs open because
of course
they tell her to click the link, but you don't click. Again, I can't imagine what houses are going through. Like Annie had her first day of catechism, and my wife's giving me her phone going, it's in drive mode. How does Zoom work? And I'm like, I can't imagine the people that don't have someone to ask the shit and the hell that they're going through. Like, I got some house mom friends that are just like, can you freaking just help me with this?
Oh, dude, I've been neighborhood tech support quite a bit.
You have to. It's like I feel so bad. Like my dad finally gave up because my dad thought he would all be tech support. Tried it twice. He's like, no, you take her home.
This is all you, Bobby.
Yeah. Oh, like, and I don't blame him. There's the stuff, like, again, the state standardized test they had to do today for the first graders, like, it wasn't easy. Like,
well, see, what's interesting about that is
I'm talking to navigate. I'm not talking about the questions.
No, I get it. So like Sam has to do that tomorrow, actually. She's in 8th grade, but they're having them come into school. That's one of the in-person days. They're having them come in groups and do it that way.
Oh, proctored.
Yeah. Well, or just they know they have somebody there to help them, which is probably more likely.
Well, if the districts want them to have decent scores, because that's how their funding goes, that's how everything goes, and how they're ranked. Yeah, they want this
the
shit
answer
to go proper.
is B.
Well, no, because the funny thing was, they're like, no parent, don't answer anything. Like, they're like, you need to help them up to here. Now you need to step away and not say a damn word.
No, dude. Because so here's the deal. Like my 10-year-old got hit with this assignment where he had to watch. There was this 20-minute video about the Constitution that he had to watch, and then he had to answer some questions afterwards. And after watching the video with him, I basically had a lobotomy, and I didn't know the answers to the questions anymore. So I pulled up the 3.5-minute Schoolhouse Rock video from our childhood on the Constitution, and he aced it.
Interjection.
That's, dude, and the funny thing is I mean, God, how long has it been since Schoolhouse Rock was out? And like every single word, I'm like, we the people, in order to form a more perfect union. I'm like, where is this even coming from in my head?
Electricity. Yeah. Conjunction, junction.
It does, dude. It all just comes back, and so now I'm like, okay,
words and phrases and clauses.
Yep. So. How much did somebody pay to have that 20-minute video on the Constitution done when you could have just said, go to YouTube, look up Schoolhouse Rock Constitution, watch that? And it's like, so instead of somebody droning at them for 20 minutes, you have something that's like a little catchy. There's some music to it, and it actually sticks in their head. Great. Like, I don't
know why, because the company got a lot of money to gamify training. They paid someone like Randy. See, Randy's not complaining because that's his profession.
Yeah, he's writing all the documentation that nobody's reading on how to navigate through this shit.
Well, no, I make the training itself too. Like, gamify it and make the clickables and that type of thing.
So I got to bring this up real quick because it's been we had a thing at Shore with wrap snacks. We gave them away for Christmas presents, like the Biggie honey jalapeno. They're delicious chips. They're honestly top 3 chips I've ever had, like Better Made and these. Well, they just came out with ramen noodles, which I don't know if they're running out of stuff. And this is the funny thing. Last year, I was hitting up the president of Wrap Snacks on LinkedIn every 3 days, going, "Hey man, can we get a truck delivery to the shop? Like, one guy responded like, who's your distributor?" But like the ramen noodles, like they're sitting around now, going, "Hey, we got the corner on Cardi B chips and all that stuff." Right? Oh, maybe that. Oh, I'm not going to say it. You know what kind of chips they need to make now?
They're not going to do. They're not going to do wet ass pickles. They're not going to do wet ass pickle chips. They're not going to do wet ass pickle chips. No, they're not.
By the way, if you haven't heard the Richard Cheese version, Mr.
So
Cheese,
good.
you're a god. You're a god. You're a legend.
I didn't look much into it, but apparently there's also a Kids Bop version of that song.
No, there's not. There was no. That was just the meme. That was the guy with his head in his hand, going, the Kids Bop lyrics writers trying to come up with safe lyrics for WAP. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's that will never make it to a Kids Bop CD ever. No, not going to happen. Although I'm bummed it's not on the Touch Tune or AMI jukeboxes yet. The Richard Cheese version.
Dude, beef prime rib ramen noodles, pack of 12 for $25 directly from rapsnacks.net.
As I said, I'm like, why are you looking on eBay? Just go to the website here.
Creamy chicken gumbo. That sounds good too.
That sounds good.
Those are the Master P ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I looked through. There's a few things I'm gonna order and try just for giggles. But there you go. So speaking of food and doubling back on Archer, the three things that I learned while watching the first two episodes of Archer, is that Arby's has a new prime rib cheesesteak that I want to try, and I have tried it, and it's super good. 2, Wendy's has a new really big and yummy looking beer cheese bacon burger. Have not tried that one yet.
That looks too much. It doesn't. The TV picture looks glorious. You know it's going to look like a pile of dog feces.
I'm just the Arby's cheesesteak was pretty dead on. I was pretty impressed. And then the third thing that I learned is that Apple TV has nothing that I want to watch. That's what I learned.
That's breaking news.
Those are it's one of those services that's out there that like I've never really looked that closely at, but like I think they played 6 different commercials for 6 different shows during those 2 episodes, and I was like, nope.
Why don't you announce that you're not going to the gym either?
Huh?
So why don't you just announce you're not going to the gym either? Ooh, really? That's breaking news there.
Yeah.
Apple TV doesn't have anything to watch. No shit, Dave. Wow.
Dude, well, hey, Randy's one of the people that posted and was like, oh, but there's this one show that's absolutely awesome. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not getting it for one show.
I haven't paid for it yet. I got a new phone or a new device within the last year, so it was included. So, but it's only $4.99 a month, so it's the cheapest service out there, I believe.
Well, I mean, if it has nothing on it, of course it should be.
I'm so happy for the Cobra Kai guys. Like they're getting so much play now that they're on Netflix. It's like,
dude, I hate Netflix for turning me into a pop culture hipster. I'm so mad.
Yeah, I watched it when it was on YouTube.
I tell you, like, where were you 2 years ago when I was watching it on YouTube?
I usually watch about an hour of YouTube a day, like maybe half hour to an hour. I thought I was gonna hate it with the commercials and all that, and it's like it's not that intrusive at all.
Not at all.
Like it's barely, because I thought for sure like I'm gonna hate it and have to go back and pay. You know what? The YouTube TV, like I'm ready. I'm this close to getting rid of TV because there's nothing on now that sports are barely on.
Right.
Like the YouTube TV is like the only one that looks decent. Like,
well, I mean, do you have an OTA antenna?
I can put one on.
I mean, I like that. So I've got 2 of them in the house, one upstairs, one downstairs. And they get a phenomenal range of channels. And then when I was just screwing around with some stuff the other day, I finally took a look at the Roku TV channel, and there's like a ton of, live programming that they basically grab and syndicate and stream through there too. There's not a whole lot of reason to actually have cable TV anymore.
I just have to, because the problem is the money's not in me paying for the TV. It's I got 4 set-top boxes in my house.
Yeah.
Ooh. But like paying rent on those and the 2 DVRs. One of them is unlimited DVR. I think that's YouTube. And we don't DVR shit anyway anymore.
Well, yeah. So I mean, it's absolutely a thing.
And I thought I was going to get thrown out of the house if I didn't have, if I did that, didn't have Hallmark Channel, but they have their own. So, they have their own app.
And that's on Roku TV.
But yeah, that's like $5 a month. So I'm like, I'm fine with that.
Yep.
Keep a happy home, right? But I think everything else, like 2 of the kids, we have 2 set-top boxes aren't even being used. Like the one in the basement, the one in our bedroom, we don't even use them.
Yep.
I was like, at this point, cut the bill down from 180 to 60. Yeah, I'm,
for real.
At this point, why they?
But speaking of kids and all that fun stuff, any trauma in your house from the TikTok and WeChat stuff going away?
I don't think the kids ever used WeChat. They're straight up Snapchat.
Yeah.
Like that's it. You know, with the TikTok thing, they never did that. My kids didn't do it. Is it block? Is it gone?
So with TikTok, it's that you can't download the app. If you already have it, it'll keep working. With WeChat, they want to cut out more of its capabilities. Like WeChat is big with Chinese expats because WeChat is like a platform within a platform. So you can, pay your bills, buy stuff, everything through WeChat. And if you can't do that, then the app kind of crumbles because nobody's using it for what it is intended.
That sounds like it's a platform within a platform. It's Inception.
Which is the one I used to have to talk to Germany on all the time? Was that WeChat? Which one is that?
I want to say yes. I think I remember you talking about that before.
Oh, yeah, because I don't see it on my phone. I'm looking for what I have on my phone. I know I had TikTok for like 3 days and got rid of it because it was trash.
WeChat, Kick, Viber, Line. I'm not sure which one Germany uses.
Randy's a big fan of Viber. He's all over that one.
Which one?
Viber. He's a big fan.
Oh. Yeah. So like, here's the thing that I don't get. No, the thing I don't get is like, when are they going to understand, or when are companies going to understand? Like people like the periscopes and the when Snapchat was kind of a thing, and TikTok, people those five. Isn't that what YouTube was supposed to be in the beginning? Was short attention span TV, and now it's even pared down even more. People like that shit, and it's like, why can't someone just make something that's not a pile of intrusive garbage?
Well, I mean, they do. I mean, that's what Vine was. But the problem is, every time somebody builds one, they sell out and get bought by they get bought by somebody who then kills it.
So Byte is a new one. It's been around about a year. That was made by the people who made Vine, and it's pretty much the same thing.
But dude, I remember everyone loved Vine. That's why everyone loved TikTok when that came out.
Yeah.
Oh, the just came across on my screen. Order 35.69 of wrap snacks. It confirmed. I just get an email thing. So
nice.
Chicken gumbo ramen. I'll report back. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do. No, do I want to do those? No. Of me eating ramen or like on YouTube.
We should absolutely have a review segment, Bob, and I'm all in favor of it.
Expand our. This is Bob eating wrap snacks, chicken gumbo, and I want to go in and talk about it. It's got the salty, it's got the sweet. I want to wear my glasses on the back of my head. Dye my
Guy Fieri.
Dye this blonde, like the middle of my beard. It's got success written all over it.
Hey, why not? We're all bored. And you know what? You do that, and I'll make a cocktail of the week from the bar behind me. We'll figure something out.
Right. It's the same cocktail, though. You can only do yours once. This is me making vodka Red Bull. This is me making vodka Red Bull. This is me making vodka Red Bull.
This is not vodka and Red Bull.
It looks like it.
No, I make, yes, we could do it. We have the technology.
You haven't seen Gary Heitman in like 5 years. He's like, you guys look like shit. Like, screw you, Gary. I'm reading the chat from the
nice. Yeah. Hey, Gary, tell some more dad jokes on Facebook. Love you. Yeah, go. Actually, we didn't talk about this during the whole consolidation thing. Apparently, the rest of the DC universe is moving over to HBO Max.
Yeah, so DC Universe was like comics and movies and cartoons and TV shows and stuff all in one service. And they're splitting it so that DC Universe is now just comics, and all the media is going over to HBO Max.
There's a lot of stuff on HBO Max that I haven't even touched the surface on that looks awesome. Like all the Adult Swim stuff. Like I haven't gotten near it.
Dude, my problem is that they haven't launched the app yet for the Roku platform. And so if I want to hook into HBO Max, it's got to either be from my phone or my laptop. And yeah, granted from there.
Don't you have a Samsung TV? That's where I pulled mine from. It's on the TV.
You know what? Yeah, I do. I haven't looked there. I have one Samsung and the rest are Rokus.
Yeah, check out the actual TV. Yeah. Okay. Check on the Samsung one. I bet you it's there. Because mine is, and my TV is 3 years old right now at this point.
Okay, I'll have to give it a look.
Dude, I guess if you haven't shopped for TVs in a while, I guess Charles just bought like the TV. Like, I didn't think 5 years ago this would even be a thing. He bought an 85-inch with all the bells and whistles for like $1,600. Like, and the thing fills up his wall because he's got like this big. Like, I remember when they were talking about 100-inch TVs were like 20 grand and shit. Now it's like.
Well, and then a lot of people went from buying the giant TVs to basically putting a projector in their house and hooking everything through that and like kind of like framing out a projection screen on their basement walls. I know several, not a lot, but I know quite a few people who did that.
Mm-hmm.
You just need a lot of lumens.
The lumens, those like midichlorians.
Yes. It makes things look better.
Let's see the other. Actually, we had one more story, and that was the one about Apple helping the FBI track down the person that firebombed a cop car during the George Floyd riots, I believe, in Minneapolis. And
I'm torn.
Here's the thing, and this kind of gets into the whole. Not to double back on it, but the whole debate about the RBG and the Supreme Court seat. My whole thing is be consistent. So Apple, you were adamant that you could not, would not in a box, could not, would not with a Fox do this for the FBI when it came to terrorism suspects because it would set a dangerous precedent.
The difference is phone versus cloud account. They will not get into a phone, but they will do the cloud accounts. Hardware versus software.
Again,
there's still
what's the difference?
That's to me that's a bullshit semantical argument. It's still your stuff and your thing that you're paying them for, and so either they are willing to turn things over to the feds or they are not.
Well, they have access.
Looking through the stuff
they have access to this because it's on their servers. They don't have access to what's on your phone. They don't even have.
Well, I guess if you're using their cloud, it's their shit. It's their CPU. Like what? Again, maybe that's good to have. Talking about privacy. Like when your stuff's hosted up there, what's the?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't ever read the user rights crap.
Oh, dude, I remember that one. I remember that one panic attack you had at a bar one night because I think your entire photo gallery started syncing to was it Google Plus?
Google Photos. It wasn't Google Plus. No, it was just Google Photos. So yeah, because like gallery, I just thought you pushed stuff over. No, everything went over there. I'm like, hey boy.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So that's
again,
you don't think about it.
If you don't know what's going on, right? Like, how am I supposed to? Again, the cloud thing that's an interesting point. Like, I'm not as pissy as I was about it when I first read it. Just thinking like they didn't break open
thinking
the
phone. It through. Yeah.
They used what was up in the cloud, which technically is theirs. You don't own the server. I guess what's your privacy rights? That's a great question for someone that knows more than I do.
Yeah. We can bring it up in a couple of weeks when we've got him in.
Yeah. So, all right, clowns. I'll if we got nothing else, I'll bid you all adieu.
Yeah, that's the last thing I had. Anybody else?
I got nothing.
All right, cool.
Awesome. Well, hey, on behalf of Bob, Dave, and Randy, this is going to end episode 366. Do us all a favor, drink up your drinks, get your phone numbers. You don't got to go home. Just get the hell out of here. See you next week. Drive careful. Beat it.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.